Yo, what's up, everybody? You always hear people keep saying it was the Republicans that freed the slaves. It was the Republicans that freed the slaves. They freed the slaves, so it's what? Slaves didn't have no home, no land. Well, former slaves. They had no home, no land, no food, no clothes, and no friends, and nowhere to go. So they freed them with what? So they had to do. So slaves had no choice but to do a U-turn and continue doing what they was doing. And the ones that and that's why the government started. That's why they started these vagrancy laws. Because if you ain't got no land, where you going? And if you're going and ain't got nothing to do, you get locked up and taken right back into servitude, taken right back into slavery. So they keep saying the Republicans keep saying black. It was the Republicans that freed black slaves. They didn't do black slaves no favor. They freed them with nothing. And like I said, they came up with these vagrancy laws. And when black people did have prosperous neighborhoods, they was burnt down, they were terrorized, or the government built highways through the neighborhood. And that would break up the neighborhood. Imagine walking to the corner store one day and you got to cross the highway to go to the corner store the next day. Highways was built through black neighborhoods to break the neighborhood up. That's why when all them Europeans came to America, they came to America, which was a form of welfare, because they didn't pay the boat ride to get over here. They got a free ride over here. And then they came and all they had to do was put a stake in the ground and say, this is my land. This is my land as far as the eye can see. Now, and black people was that's why the suburbs is called the suburban. It's a suburban neighborhood. And most black people live in like inner city neighborhoods. Most black people live in inner cities surrounded by highways in projects. And another word for a project is an experiment. We on top of each other. Boom, 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 like that. While white people got land. They got land, acres and acres of land. And then they make it seem like they worked hard to get that land. They didn't. A lot of times that land was given to them. And it was handed down from parent to child, parent to child, parent to child. And that land creates wealth. For the most part, land had no value. The land had no value until you put a slave on the land. Once you put the slave on the land, that gave the land value. And that wealth was handed down from parent to child, parent to child, parent to child. That's why you got black people living in the inner cities, and then you got white people living on millions of acres of land. Well, not millions of acres, but thousands of acres. Well, America gave away millions of acres of land. That's why Ted Turner got so much land. They make it seem like they worked hard for that. Hard work was called nigger work. And white people do not believe in working hard with black people around, because then that symbolizes equality. That symbolizes that you just as good as me. You working hard and I'm working hard. It didn't work like that. And then and then another thing to think about is like most black laborers, most skilled workers were the black workers. But when Europeans came to America, they formed white-only unions, and that was to kick black people out. So black people they were white-only unions. They were unions. They were not only unions, they were white-only unions, to be more specific. And black people couldn't join. Yep. All right, y'all. I just thought I'd bring that up. People, because the Republicans always about, it was the Republicans that freed the slaves. They didn't do black slaves no favor. Always, I got to promote my books. This one is called Corner Stores in the Middle of the Block. My second one is called Don't Beat Your Children or They'll Turn Out Like Me. My third one is called Agitation Gets the Dirt Out. And my fourth one is called Lying is More Provocative Than Hate. You can use Cash App to get a copy, and I'll send it right out.